gentlemen, welcome back to some more Black Clover content. This week, we are reviewing Black Clover Sword of the Wizard King. And don't worry, manga fans, by the time you guys are hearing this, our manga review, me and Jazz reviewing chapter 364 and basically catching you up since the last review, telling you what's going on, that'll be out by the time you guys are watching Sword of the Wizard King. But joining me, as always, my YouTube compadre, the co-host of all the manga stuff on YouTube, my guy, Jazz. Jazz, how you doing today, brother?
Hey man, it's good. It's always a good day when we reviewing Black Clover.
That's a fact.
Got some people. We got some people on Fraud Watch. We got some people we need to uplift. But you know what I'm saying?
Oh, at the end of the day, one person for sure.
At the end of the day, I'm just glad I got to see my boys animated again. It's been a couple of years.
Facts.
It's been a couple of
years.
And
I'm not the biggest Black Clover anime fan, but I'm glad you told me to watch this because I truly, truly enjoyed this. When comparing this to the other new gen shonen manga movies, that is, I have this second. Like, to me, it's a pretty good JJK movie 0, this, and then My Hero's third movie. I don't care about Demon Slayer, Demon Train, or the first two My Hero movies. The three that I named are my favorite, but we'll talk about that more a little bit later on. But for those watching, hello out there. If you are going to DreamCon on July 22nd, July 28th, 29th, and the 30th, make sure you come tap in with the gang. Bros Who Think and Anime Talk will be there. I told y'all in the last video, we had one panel. We actually have two panels. We have on Saturday, hold on, I can tell you the exact time now. Saturday at 5:30, we have our panel that is called Anime Talk Presents The Master and the Student. We will be breaking down the student and master relationship in anime, discuss why it's such an important aspect of anime, who are the best representations of that, and yeah, make sure you are in the building. It will be in workshop room 1 or in parentheses, meeting room 614. So make sure at workshop room 1 at 5:30, you come check out Anime Talk Presents The Master and Student. And then Sunday is going down. Sunday from 3:30 to 4:30. Anime Talk presents a conversation about One Piece. We will be discussing why One Piece is so great, why it's important that it's the longest running manga of all time. We will discuss it compared to the other big three and the precedents that it set. We will break down the importance of each Straw Hat and break down who are the most important side characters and why. That will be going down in panel room 4 or meeting room 615 AB. From Sunday to 3:30 to 4:30. Look, I know the first one is going to be incredible, but you don't want to miss the One Piece one. You really don't want to miss the One Piece one on Sunday. We are going in.
And look, and come out. Press me about my Mihawk slander. I'm going to have receipts.
Look, Fraud Court will probably begin after we get back from DreamCon, because we're gonna have some new equipment. Me and Jazz will try to be doing that in person. We'll have some people come across the Zoom screen, which I have a cool idea for. We're gonna have the computer up and have the Zoom screen looking in. We're gonna be filming all of it. I'm excited. You don't want to miss Fraud Court because Mihawk will be there, but someone from the Black Cloververse, aka Fraud Galleon, will be there, and we're going to tell you why a little bit today. But that's enough promo. Like I said, if you're in DreamCon, make sure you come check out both our panels. Anime Talk Presents The Master and Student, Saturday at 5:30, and then Sunday at 3:30, a conversation about One Piece. You don't want to miss either of them. But let's get into it. Black Clover, the Sword of the Wizard King. What's your initial thoughts, Jack?
So when I watched it, I waited a while to watch it, because it came out and I was still working, so I never really got like a chance to sit down and watch it. So I didn't really watch it until that Saturday. I think that's Saturday night, I believe. And bro, it was, to me, it's obviously not perfect. There's a bunch of stuff, especially like story wise, that I'm like, okay, but I understand it's a movie and like kind of like the time period like where it's in. But like for me, I was just happy I got to see my boys animated again. You know what I'm saying? And I started off watching the Black Clover anime because my boy Rob, shout out my boy Rob. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was just good to see. It was just good to see him again. Also, I must say, I liked the fact that we got more lore on the Wizard Kings, because I feel like that's something we always need when there are these like big titles like Wizard King, Pirate King, Hokage, yada yada yada, whatever. You need to, like, for the main character, even if it's non-canon, you need to make the scope of his dream or like his aspiration seem way bigger. So like how what it takes to get to that level and like where he's at and how far away he is from it.
100%. For me, I'm a manga reader when it comes to Black Clover. I'm glad you told me to watch it because I really, really enjoyed it. I thought the animation is finally like, okay, when the anime comes back, I'll watch because now it's looking up to par. I always thought that if Black Clover's anime was better, it would be bigger than what it is. Because in my opinion, Black Clover's really good. Like, it should be heralded with My Hero and JJK. It should be number 3. In my opinion, those are the new big 3. I know some people will be upset that I didn't put Demon Slayer in there. Demon Slayer's over. Suck my dick. Black Clover is much better than Demon Slayer, in my opinion.
I can't speak on Demon Slayer. They will come after me.
Look, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of it, especially how it ended. But Black Clover is my jam. It should be up there with My Hero and JJK. But I always thought because the anime wasn't that good, that's why it's not. But I think now it's getting back up to par. And for those who like, the Broly movie and like those fights, this is for you. This is Black Clover's meathead version. But to Jazz's point, there's some good story beats in there. Like the Wizard King stuff is great. Learning the history of the Wizard King stuff is great. Learning that there were Wizard Kings who failed was great. Learning that there are Wizard Kings who was evil, who had to be taken down and had to be taken away from the position of power was great. Learning that all of that stuff shows like, okay, this country is diverse. This country has a lot of lore to it. Instead of, if they do a sequel, they should not do what's next. They should go to the past and show us about maybe the second Wizard King, the third. Go into some of that lore, because I thought that was some of the brilliant stuff of the story. Some of my flaws is where it lands. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if the crew post Dante could be beating these people. I don't know if they're strong enough yet, especially when you put it in comparison to where they are in the manga right now. Where they are in the manga right now is enough to take on the Wizard King. But to me, in my opinion, you have 3 Wizard Kings, and you're telling me that all of y'all are 4 Wizard Kings, excuse me. 4 of them, and you're telling me y'all right now post Dante could be 4 of them with no Julius? That's a little hard for me to believe.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I have to be like, okay, it's pretty much like it's a non-canon movie with canon elements. But
like that was my biggest flaw with it, bro. I didn't like that. Like they should have made them, if it was 1 Wizard King and the 3 strongest Magic Knights, that would have been hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because I feel like it's like it's like having, and I mean, I guess I can't fully compare it to Naruto because, Tabata makes his characters all like in the same like realm of like they can not like box with each other, but like, they're all competent enough to box with like their opponents, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's like imagine if like Kishimoto brought back like 4 like random Hokage we never heard of, and you know what I'm saying, that connect doesn't really make no sense.
But look, Madara, who was a Hokage level, took out the army. Like, and this dude is supposed to be, especially Conrad. Conrad is supposed to be one of the strongest Wizard Kings ever. And the only reason why it's not working is because of Asta's power. Cool. Asta, I get the Asta thing. But like,
the Asta thing, I can completely understand. He's supposed to be the anomaly.
I understand the Marileona thing too, because she is like the strongest Magic Knight in existence, quit the Magic Knights to go study mana, and her mana is Wizard King level. I get her. I can understand Yami and Nozel and Fraud Gellion, I guess, because Yami and are supposed to be almost Wizard King level as well. They're with Marileona and Asta, comparable to strength. Nozel and Fraud Gellion aren't, but whatever. They're just extra. But the Black Bulls, bro, I don't get that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I know Noel is supposed to be part of that Marileona, Asta, Yami crew. But, bro, that dude, that Ice Wizard King let me down a lot. Like he's supposed to be the ultimate Ice Wizard King and lost to the Black Bulls. Like some of that story shit don't make sense. Like it just don't.
I feel like his power didn't really give me much to like, go at. Like if anything, he was the most boring of all of them.
Yeah.
Like he was super boring.
He was ice, but just made an ice golem, nigga. That's your power. Jack could have beat your ass.
Because like,
nigga.
look, at least Princia, like she could make her soldiers, but she could at least apply that armor to herself.
Exactly.
It wasn't like she just made like a giant Megazord. Well, I mean, she did, but but
she didn't have to do it that way. Which
right.
That's another one of my cons is the fight of Merleone and Princia. We didn't really get to see it. Like. They didn't show much of it. Like it was just
they did kind of just cut away, and then Merleone and her were just like out of energy.
Yeah.
Like, and then like
they put her in a mech. They put her in a mech, and then they just cut away. Also, I wish that the mech would have been the final thing. I wish Merleone I wish she would have put on a suit that was like more like Urza Scarlet, where in Fairy Tail how she has or even like Noelle's Valkyrie armor to where she has her metal soldiers on, they fight, and she's like, oh shit, you too strong. Now I'm making the Megazord, and then they cut away. But like they didn't show us none of that. And that to me was was the second coolest Wizard King, in my opinion, because I thought the shit with her and Merleone was way more interesting than the Ice nigga for sure. And more interesting than Jester versus Yuno and Yami. I'm sorry. Jester just made shields. Like, she was actually hooking.
But Jester was busting their ass though.
Jester
was in a 1v4 and he was busting their ass.
He was
with shields, mind you. Like I gotta give props for. Well, I mean, really, it's like a 2v1, but that's not
all right. Which I guess the way we should discuss this is based upon the battles, because leading up is just Conrad's story, which we can get into with the Asta battle. So, which one you want to jump into first?
So. Damn, battle wise, I guess the Coliseum first, because it's like in the beginning they do a flashback to like a couple years before Julius became the not. Julius.
Oh, you talking about I didn't even know who was going to Coliseum. All right, take it away. Go ahead.
So like there's two parts of the Coliseum. The one where it's before present day, where it's before Julius is Wizard King and Conrad is Wizard King, and they're fighting him.
They took him. That's crazy how they like took him out of power.
Yeah, that's wild. I was like, yeah, Julius's power is like really broken.
OP as hell. Him and Yami together, it's like
it's really broken. But even then, like Conrad was still giving them trouble. And it's like we'll get into it later when they reveal what his magic is. But it's just like this is like again showing of a Wizard King. Like you're not supposed like it's supposed to be a struggle. Like it's supposed to be like one Wizard King and like a bunch of other people on the other side.
All the knights or a majority of the knights. And that's why it's like 5 of them and they or 4 of them and they lose. It's like, I don't know, especially when you think of Conrad, because Conrad was whooping Nate ass so much so that Fraudgellion was like, damn, I never thought I would have to fight this monster again. Oh no, shut up, Fraudgellion.
Every time Fugelion get on the screen, it make me sick because I used to think he was gonna be cold, but that
we're not talking about. Me sick.
But we're not talking about Fugelion right now. We'll talk about him later.
His brother and sister better than him, and his brother a little
nigga. So then we cut back to the future, or not the future, the present. And we have them in the like.
How bad was Asta gonna beat ass?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. If he had went into look base Asta, probably would have struggled with a little bit. But once he went into Double Union, I'm sorry, getting packed.
Getting packed, bro. I'm sorry, super packed. Especially at post Dante, is getting packed. Right now may have a shot, but back. Fuck no.
Austin all his swords,
free star magic? No, sir.
That's crazy. Gotta cheat.
Yeah.
Gotta cheat to beat Asta.
and Asta should have known the moment he took that sword out, they was gonna know who the fuck that was. Like, what?
I don't even know why he bothered with that disguise either. He took out that big sword and everybody was like, who could that be? Like, bro, come
Klaus.
on.
Like, how Klaus
like,
from the Golden Dawn was like, who is it? Bro, that's not no Luffy shit, nigga. What are y'all doing? Or Lucy, whatever. That shit was funny. But hey, when they popped in that Coliseum, them 4 knights whooped everybody ass. Asta got his ass whooped.
they couldn't do nothing against. They couldn't even really do nothing against the soldiers, like the little metal soldiers.
Yeah,
which is like, dang. I'm really curious as to what the Clover Kingdom looked like when she was Wizard King, because she's very much like all the other ones. You could kind of see that, like, okay, they could like rule. Maybe they're not great rulers,
but they had
like
an interesting
her power.
Yeah.
But her power is very like oppressive. It's very dictator.
She seemed like she was. Yeah, I was about to say it seemed like they were like Germany, like at the height of Nazism when she was in charge. Like, but the thing is, each of their dreams showed that they weren't like that, though. That's the thing. Like, each of their dreams
about it in the worst way.
Yeah, like each of their dreams was, we want to get rid of the ruling system because of how they treat peasants. But the way they went about it was just like, huh? Although I don't believe that was Jester's dream. I think Jester was just happy to be alive and was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go with Conrad, because that nigga seemed crazy.
Nah, Jester was definitely corrupt. He did not seem mentally stable.
The ice guy, I think, definitely agreed with Conrad, or Conrad's dream, the idea of it, because the ice guy seemed peaceful. Jester and Priscilla did not seem peaceful.
If I'm being honest, Edward Avalanche is really just like the Clarence Thomas of like these 4 Wizard Kings. Because it's like, it seems like he don't really have like a clear, like, it seems like he has a clear thing for what he wants to do, but he's just bandwagon off of the other 3. Like, maybe if we do eliminate everybody, it will work. So I mean, I guess
that's a good one. Okay, so yeah, the Coliseum was intense. Where you want to go after this? It's time that we picking the 4, or you got some other stuff you want to talk about inside the movie? I guess.
Also, like, not battle wise, but like the 2 scenes I really like the most were like the lab scene. I like getting those kind of like, even though it's like kind of medieval-ish, like I like getting those like those scenes with them like developing stuff. The fact that Conrad was already there because he took not Gray, Mark's magic and then figured out where they were going. That scene, and later on in the movie when Asta gets up and basically does like his speech, even though he's like battered and broken, which is just like, yeah, this is what a Wizard King is. You have to build up the morale of people. You have to get the I forgot what was the exact word Julius used when he talked to Asta. It was merit. Yeah, you have to get the merit of the people, and it's like, wasn't there.
He was with him, and was like, yeah, Asta, you take it away. At that moment, I was like, whoa, you're conceding that Asta's a better person to lead than you, because I didn't know he was gonna talk. I thought we were gonna talk about scenes later, but fuck it, let's dive into best scenes. That to me was my favorite scene of the movie.
That's a really good scene.
Because to me, when Asta is literally talking to all of them, and you see Noelle change, you see you see all of them get behind him, I got goosebumps. And the Mary Leona is like, it's not time for that type of speech, we got a plan, but good idea, Asta, getting everybody hype. I was like, Mary, even you falling in line. And then when she was like, now Asta, give us the speech, it's like, whoa, the strongest knight. Because to me, in my opinion, if you're talking the strongest knights in the Clover Kingdom, it's between Mary Leona and Yami. I don't care what nobody else say about about Von Johns or any of them niggas. Them niggas don't hold a candle to them 2. And the closest people to those 2 is Yuno and Asta. And for her to say, Asta, you tell everybody, that was powerful. I know this isn't canon, but that was my favorite scene.
Mary Leona don't really respect nobody.
She don't respect none of them. Only Yami and I don't even know if she respects Julius at this point.
She probably did, but only because she had to.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, that was definitely my favorite scene.
Yeah, and see, that's another reason why I like their rivalry. I like that they don't step on each other, and they're not like, oh, you one-upped me. It's like rivals are supposed to understand that like one of you does things better than the other one. If you know is adept in a certain type of magic and he can do whatever, then Asta is the morale and he's the people to rally the people. It's like that's
because
how you
can't talk. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, like Yuno's more Yuno's more antisocial. Like
and
that's
lead
his
by
thing.
is lead by example type of leader, whereas Asta
Right.
is like the typical I can get y'all riled up because y'all not everybody can use magic like me. What I do is special. Like I have to physically train and physically fight. Whereas can lead by example because they all use grimoires like him. So it's a very good way to show the two dynamics of the two kings where after watching this movie, I don't know if would be a good Wizard King, to be honest.
He'd
Maybe
probably
that's
be
a
a good
maybe
Wizard
that's
King
a
like somewhere else, but not
maybe
like
that's
not...
a video for another day of who would make the better Wizard King. But I don't know if would make a good Wizard King at this point in time.
I mean, like aside from the Golden Dawn stuff that was happening when Zenon invaded, like I haven't really seen him have much leadership, like
exactly.
as in being proactive.
Where
you know
Asta does it
like,
all the time, manga and non-canon movie. He's doing it all the time.
That's crazy.
Okay. Any other scenes you want to get to before we get to the major battles?
Okay, if we're still talking about like story beats, I will say one thing I genuinely disliked, and I wish they had put sprinkles in a little more throughout the movie, was like Conrad's reasoning. Because at the beginning of the movie, we get Conrad's reasoning for why he wants everybody to be equal, but it's like they don't show us. So I'm like, okay, maybe middle of the movie, like we'll get like the real reason.
I thought he was a pet. I thought he was a peasant, but he wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I
nigga was just a royal.
It's like right, yeah, and he had like a magic type that like people didn't really like. They didn't see the potential in it,
and they killed his wife. So yeah,
and it's like, maybe it's just me, but I feel like that stuff should have been at least been put in exposition given to us by a previous Wizard King like Julius,
or Yami
or like
about it,
or like even if he references it in the final battle with Asta, I wish we got time with Conrad like by himself thinking about it, because I feel like it was very lazy to put like Conrad thinking about his wife and everything at the end, because because like now it's too late. Like I'm already like, okay, beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know where it should have been? It should have been when Asta was falling and Conrad's looking at him like, I'll see you again. And when he sees Asta and Asta says, you will see me again because I never give up.
My magic is giving up.
Yeah, my magic. And then boom, when he heard that, that's when it should have been Conrad flashing back and seeing himself as a kid, seeing him. We should have saw all of that and then saw his wife. It would have been even better if his wife was the person who said, my magic is I never give up. And then Conrad takes that on, and then boom, his wife dies because she was a peasant or whatever. And he's saying, this is now my magic. That would have been a better way to show it than how they did.
My only gripe is that like it's not like it's not a good reason for why he's doing it, but it's like if you're showing it to me like while he's being defeated, I feel like it takes away like from a lot. It takes away from a lot of it, because now it's just like, okay, I've gone through this whole movie thinking that like he's just going about it the wrong way, but I don't know the real reasons for why he's going after it. And it's like you give it to me at the end, and it's like now I just want Asta to defeat the bad guy. Like now it's like I care, but it's like I don't care as much as I would have if you would put this in the middle of the movie.
Yep. And like it's like you said, it's lazy, and that's one of the problems with this movie is they, instead of just committing all the way, they do a lot of lazy things. That's what makes it like this movie could have been a 10 out of 10, but yet a couple like you said, that moment, the not picking the teams of who fights who well, the choices of doing 4 Wizard Kings instead of maybe 2 Wizard Kings and 2 of their Magic Knight captains who were really strong. Like imagine if they would have did Conrad and Priscilla in each of their vice captains. That to me would have been a better ploy, where you have Mary Leona fight Priscilla, you have the Black Bulls fight her vice captain, You have Asta fight Conrad, and then you have Yami and Yuno fight his vice captain.
Because it's more believable. Like, I mean, not to say getting 4 Wizard Kings wasn't cool. It was. But like it's
super cool
that like the people in their squad, or like they're like not servants, but like be
the right hand. Like, how so Julius's right hand was Yami. Like imagine if this was Conrad. Imagine if Conrad was our Wizard King and we had someone else leading the Black Bulls and Julius and Yami pulled up. Niggas would be like, whoa, these guys are OP. Like, it would have worked out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of giving us just four Juliuses, you know?
Which is like, even then, it's kind of just like it puts you in the mind that like Julius is like literally a league above, because it's like obviously they have to nerf Julius for later battles because strong. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, repeat that because you cut out a little bit.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just saying like with Julius is just kind of like it shows like, or maybe Julius is just a cut above the rest. I'm not sure, but it's like in terms of Wizard Kid, it's like, bro, they had to nerf Julius and turn him into a kid, because in his fight with Patry, he was too strong, way too strong. Like, so if any other threat, like if the Dark Trio had came to the Clover Kingdom, Julius would have just dealt with him.
Yeah, no, that's a big fact. That's a big fact. Also, I like the story beat of having it to where, Julius got reverted to a child, thus Conrad was able to break free. That is smart storytelling. Like, I don't know why they didn't continue that. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it made a lot of sense. I'm trying to think of any other pros and cons story-wise that I liked. Con, I didn't like how Noelle's powers got taken, but she was still able to use them. And then Asta got them back, and it came back. Like, how was she able to use them when they got taken? It didn't make sense to me. Like, did he not take all of it, or did he just take the strongest parts of it? Like,
that kind of took away the tension for me, because at the beginning I was like, okay, did he take her magic or did he take her spells?
See, I didn't know either. Like, I was hoping it would have been her magic, because that made it feel intense. Because that made Conrad like, whoa, he could take anybody's magic.
Right. With the way Asta reacted, it felt like, okay, Noelle's not going to be able to fight until Asta gets his magic back. With the way that he reacted. So I was like, but then I see her using the magic, and I'm like, wait.
Huh?
I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I thought she just got this took.
Yeah, and even though it was just like a little limp water whip, like basically Katara when Avatar first started, I was like, but how's she even doing this? Like, what is going on? Definitely took away from the tension.
That takes away some. Yeah, but I will say another pro is that the concept of magic tools comes back.
Yeah. Also, the idea of the technology with like Sally and them all at the bottom having to use like building like a reverse to this to this strong sword, and like having all of this tech division. I really like that, and I hope that comes back in the manga. I don't know if it will, but also the idea of having this sword that collects everybody's magic and can send it out tenfold is like, whoa, this thing is OP.
That's a nuclear bomb. Like,
yeah.
Look, literally, like they literally made one. Like,
hopefully they can go underground now, because they need to, dealing with who they dealing with in the manga. Hopefully they can
release this. That's probably why they released this movie. Asta might need that sword for real.
Look,
Asta really might need that sword,
or a version of it. He might get like an axe, or like he might get something. But all right. But now when it comes to these fights, let's start off with Jester so we can get to Frog Galleon. Tell me how the fuck you have the salamander in you have the spirit. With his spirit is OP. Noelle with her spirit is OP. The old salamander with her spirit was OP. How do you have the salamander and you can't even stack up to Yami? Nigga, what's wrong with you? You as strong as Noelle with the fire spirit? Bro, you are horrible. You are horrible. You are strong as no fucking Zell.
It's like the way the way they explain spirits to us, like when they're first introduced, is that like you have to be chosen by a spirit, but that means you're strong, right? So, like, okay, I don't like to compare Fugelion to because Yuno's basically a genius. So I don't, he has star magic, he has moon magic, whatever.
Do it to Noel. Noel has the water spirit.
Yeah, Noel makes more sense because Noel's also royalty, like Fugelion is. Noel can control her magic. I mean, she's getting better at controlling her magic, obviously. But it's like, bro, Noel had the spirit for maybe like less than a couple days, and she was able to spirit dive. You've had this spirit, bro. This spirit replaced your hand. How are you not how are you not able to use, like, nobody's asking you to spirit dive, obviously, because you can't do it.
No,
but it's like, bro, I'm asking you to not be sorry. Because how do you because like, bro, if I was in the it's the Vermilion, the Crimson Lions.
The Crimson Lions, yeah. The Vermilions is a family. That's old girl family from the Golden Dawn, yeah.
So if I was in the Crimson Lions,
I would quit.
And he was my captain, and I was like, okay, so with the lore I know about the spirits, but you like, I'm like, like we pulling a mutiny. Like, on God, we is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no.
Like, we don't want you. Quitting. Like, even though Mary Leona don't want to be a captain, I'm putting my vote in for her.
Facts.
Like, she could look, she could literally not do any captain duties, and I still feel safer with Mary Leona.
Facts. Like, do we not think the salamander picked the wrong person? Like, did the salamander like crawl? Was he trying to crawl into Mary Leona's room and accidentally chose Fugelion? I'd have preferred if he chose Leopold's room. At least Leo would have been able to do something. Like, this nigga can't even put out the amount of fire that the old salamander did. Old boy with the diamond, like that lady made a wall
with the
fire.
midnight sun.
Yeah, she was having fire fucking spirit bombs come out. This nigga can't do nothing. Like, he can't even, bro, it's embarrassing. He can't even make a fire sword. What's wrong with this basic,
bro? The craziest thing is, bro, you supposed to have this fire spirit, but why are you fire bending? Right? Like, why are you fire bending? You're supposed to be I'm looking for what the Midnight Sun guy gave us and more, but why am I getting Zuko right now?
Yeah.
Like, and that's no diss to Zuko.
No, that's this all to Fugelion.
But that's this all to Fugelion, because if you have an infinite, bro, you have infinite. I wouldn't say he has infinite mana.
He should.
Wrong.
It should be. But it should be more than what it is.
Like, an equip, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, bro, there's no reason why,
bro, if
Mary Leona is fighting this Wizard King and he can't. Like, what?
Bro, he pulling support. He's support.
Bro, that's
crazy. You a captain and you support.
No, you're absolutely right. How do you have the spirit and you're playing support to Yuno and Yami?
Because like Nozel makes sense. Nozel doesn't have a spirit, and Nozel's power is like more so of support. And it does damage too. Don't get me wrong, but
Nozel not stronger than his sisters, and that's acceptable. That's understandable.
Yeah. But like, bro, look, Tabata does a lot of things well, but one thing I will genuinely never understand, and this is a legitimate critique, I will never understand why he gave Fugelion the salamander and just never had him do anything with it. He
should have gave it to Mary Leona, man. He really should have. Or Leo.
Could have at least, or Leo. That way, at least Leo could, like, have some credit to being like, yeah, Asta, I'm your rival. You can have the fire spirit, and that would make sense.
And if you look at it, it would have made more sense with Leo, because look, all of Asta's rivals, Yuno has the wind, Noel has the water, Leo has the fire. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have been. It should have been Leo. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, and then Asta has Lieb. So it's like they all have, like, they're all little.
That was a big misstep by Tabata. How is Jack stronger than Fugelion, bro? I feel safer with Jack than I would Fugelion. And all Jack can do is slice shit.
Yeah, we need to have we might need to have a draft. We might need to draft a new captain for the Crimson Lions.
So I'm Honestly, that's our next Black Clover video. We do a draft. We draft. We do a wizard. We do like a Jazz's wizard crew, Lynn's wizard crew. You pick a color and an animal. Like I would be like the Silver Falcons or something, and we draft our wizards. And basically, we're flipping a coin to see who gets Asta or Yuno, and then we pick from there. That'd be hard. That'd be a Black Clover draft. We'll do that. Hard. We'll do that next video. Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right.
I'm taking some Heart Kingdom mages.
You can, because I kind of want Mars. That diamond nigga.
Fair. Mars is kind of cracked.
Mars, yeah, exactly. All right, that's but basically, does a good job in his fight. Yami, Fugelion, and Nozel play support, even though Yami does a lot more than support. His slash really does well. I thought did a good job for the most part against Jester. Anything else you got about that fight?
Yeah. Jester was actually, I wasn't expecting Jester to be strong, to be honest. The fact that and they were supercharged too by the sword.
Yep. No, you're right.
All the Wizard Kings were supercharged by the sword. So, I mean, not to take anything away from Jester, but it's like, bro, Jester was barely... Like, they had Jester at a corner, but once they got powered up by that stone... If Conrad didn't lose to Asta... Oh, they would have... All four would have lost to Jester. So that's I'm like, props to Jester. And also for making, shields, his fighting style wasn't boring. It was lackluster. It was just interesting.
Yeah, it was lackluster.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see shields being used in an offensive way again. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that since Rising of the Shield Hero, but
and he does it different because it's like he could make shields anywhere. So it's like portable shield, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Shield Hero just had the thing on his arm.
Right. So it's like,
this nigga was able to make 8 trigram palm rotation circles wherever he wanted, essentially. So yeah, no, Jester was a little OP, but lackluster though. But not as lackluster as Avalanche. That nigga was ass. How do you control ice and just make an ice Megazord? You don't make an ice sword. You don't shoot ice bullets. You don't make a blizzard. You just make a fucking ice Megazord against these niggas who are supposed to be the weakest magic group, which in actuality, the Black Bulls are the strongest one. I'm sorry. Golden Dawn don't have shit on them. I don't even know if Klaus could make the Black Bulls. And Klaus is one of the strongest Golden Dawn niggas with his little metal magic shit. That nigga is
because even Klaus, bro, I think ever since probably past the first 2 arcs, I'm pretty sure Klaus has been a side character.
Not even a side. That nigga is just D-list. That nigga is out of here. The Vermilion girl, I don't know her name, Noelle Cousin. She's stronger than Klaus with her healing magic.
Mimosa.
Mimosa, that's her name. Mimosa. I forgot about that. But even the Black Bulls healer in Henry may be stronger than Mimosa. That shows Black Bulls are stronger. Golden Dawn.
I also feel like it's the tax of being connected to the MC.
Oh, to Asta, yeah, true.
So it's I mean, realistically, if we followed, I feel like the perspective from the Golden Dawn would look a little better. But even so, I can't. If the Golden Dawn is supposed to be built up, you don't have to give me in depth of everybody, but give me 5 strong people. Aside, it's really just
and Vengeance.
It's Vengeance. Finral's brother.
Yeah, Finral's brother. Yeah. That nigga's crazy. And that's it.
He's kind of fire.
Who Finral's brother
and Klaus. That's really all they have.
Yeah, no. Finral's brother's OP.
Brother.
They should have definitely given us 2 more people that are on the level of Vengeance, and Finral's brother. The Black Bulls have Yami, they have Asta, they have Noelle. They got what's the Devil Union nigga name? Because he came out of nowhere. The vice captain, he OP. Knocked. Yeah. And then they got the red-haired homie, the Trap. God bless all the Trap niggas. All those Zora. Those 5 are strong as hell. Then you have Magna, Luck, You have the strongest witch out there who controls fate in Vanessa. You got Charmy, who can turn into this big ass wolf. Like, nah, the Black Bulls are OP, bro. And we're not even talking about the Chomo.
Black Bulls are. And the fact that they have a witch who can control fate, like, bro,
that's what I'm saying.
It's too much.
Like it's too much. It's way too much.
So I like, but I mean, when we get into the manga review, I understand why he had to go there and wipe them out.
Facts.
I understand.
Facts.
But
the ice nigga,
trash.
trash.
I feel like what? Okay, so answer me this one question: what was the point of him making an ice church? Did that do anything?
Not a thing. That's what I'm saying.
That was, bro, he was literally just showing off at that point. Like there was no reason for him to do that.
He should have made ice soldiers. Like, why are you making an ice church? What does that do? Like, obviously they're not gonna touch it.
That, bro.
Like, what?
Either that or like, if you can control, if you can, how do I say this? It's like, if you can control ice, I would have at least had like snow rain down or something. And then that way, like, they couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they couldn't do anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he had if he had like complete control over all ice and that's all he could do, I guess at that point they were just kind of like, okay, we put all this time into the other three. Let's give the Black Bulls an easy, like, let's give the Black Bulls an easy fight. You feel me?
Yep, we running out of budget. You could tell with Priscilla and with the ice nigga, the budget was running thin.
Which is like, I ain't gonna lie, because like, I mean, I guess if we can move to the Marileona and Princia fight.
Yeah,
like,
nothing happened.
Nothing really happened, but I like the fact that they were slugging it out at least.
Yeah, true. No, I'm with you 100%. I just wish we saw the final version. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Give us a director's cut, please.
Yeah.
I need that. Just give me that fight. Give me that fight. I promise on my life, I won't pirate it.
Put it on Netflix. I'll watch it on Netflix.
Oh yeah, facts. And then then we get to Asta Conrad.
Yep. Which was badass, honestly. And I like how we got Libe. Libe was like, this nigga is back again. Don't worry. I'm going to tax your ass later. How bad do you think Asta was hurting after that Conrad fight?
Bro, I'm telling you, he wasn't getting up for at least a couple days.
Yeah.
Bro fell from space.
He did. No, you're right.
He fell from space. Nah, he's not getting up for a while. But I did like his form that they gave him, which I feel like it might be
his Devil Union? Or are you talking about Conrad?
Nah, his Conrad looked like, you know, the markers that you used to use back in elementary school, and they used to have like the little it was a little circle thing, and like you used to pull out whatever color you wanted, bro. That's what it looked like. It was a cool look. It was a cool design. I'm not gonna lie, but it was funny.
No, it was. Conrad tried his hardest, man, and that his little circle, his like of I'm being the perfect. He looked like, you know what it was? Do you remember in Dragon Ball Super when Goku Black turned into Xenon or turned into?
He had the white ring around.
That's what I thought of. Yep, that's exactly what I thought of. But Asta whooped his ass, although he gave Asta a run for his money. But I mean, I get it. Anti-magic is the antithesis to all of this. Like, so anytime you have a strong magic person, you just send Asta at him. Like, it is what it is.
They were literally like, yeah, you're the only person who could beat him. And Asta was like, okay. It's like, that's not, like, that sounds about right.
But I do like his power, how it, like, this nigga could collect any magic. He was like, he's literally the most OP person we've seen.
He's literally, he's like Yuta from JJK. I'd say more so of Corollo from Hunter x Hunter.
Good call.
More so because like he could store it. Like,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure Yuta can only copy.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if Yuta's copies stay with him forever.
I think as long as he's seen it, he could.
Well, yeah,
that's a conversation for another day. Because sometimes it confuses me. Because Gege be explaining stuff, but then he don't be explaining stuff.
Yeah, he worse than Oda.
Yeah, bro. Sometimes he. But anyway, this is not about.
Tabata
Gege.
is like that with this. Like, this is just, I have unlimited magic. And the thing is, what happens when you have unlimited of something versus the antithesis of it, the anti version? It's literally when an unstoppable object meets an unmovable force.
Immovable force.
Yep.
But the whole time he was like unlocking all the doors with his keys. I just kept thinking about that DJ Khaled song. I was like, that's the first time
the key.
I haven't heard that song in years, and
Me neither.
I was like, bro, this should have been his theme song. That would have went crazy.
Whenever we start directing anime movies, don't worry. When we put hip hop to anime movies, we gonna go ham. Cause you're right. That should have been the music playing.
Hey, look, when you do the supercut of a Jailbreak, I'm using Akon's Locked Up. It's gonna fit perfectly. I'm telling
you. Impel down as Luffy's walking in. I'm locked up. They won't let me out.
The freedom ain't getting much closer.
But the fight was great. I really enjoyed it. I like the idea of Asta having to fight a sword wielder. I think that's going to be a continuous trend as long as Asta is in the story, is whatever magic user he fights becomes a sword user simultaneously. I like that. So this it was dope. I enjoyed it. I think this was obviously the best fight. Like, it's not even comparable. So, anything else you got on the Conrad fight?
I did like Asta's other form, not his half devil union form, but kind of like halfway through when the sword was like resonating with Asta and he had the black and he had the blue wing.
Yeah, it's just kind of like when his angel and demon mode. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's just kind of like that made me think for a second. So I was like, okay, so I know the sword is like a magic tool for people to use its magic, right? I get that. But for Asta to like have anti-magic in him and like be half and half anti-magic, half and half the magic of the sword, it's kind of just like, do you think he took some of that like from his mom and how his mom used to negate, like, well, not necessarily like negate magic, but like she, if I'm remembering correctly, she was like anything she was around, she would sap magic from it.
Yeah.
So like the fact that Asta can probably do that, probably not to the same extent of his mom, like to the point like where he's like,
you gonna get a call from Tabata saying stop ruining the future of my manga, because I think that might be a thing, honestly.
Hey, look, Tabata, look, don't come to my house, man. Look, we could collab, we could do something.
Think about it. Got star magic. I honestly, that Asta may unlock something like that, bro. It really might happen. And so
yeah, and I'm cool if it comes from his if it comes from his mom, because that's another bridge to connect like him and Lieb, since it's like
facts. Because we're gonna have to get his backstory, because we got Yuno's. It's gonna happen when he probably fights Julius, honestly, and Julius will probably tell him about it.
Because he was like, yeah, you're not supposed to
be here.
You're the anomaly here.
Yeah, like,
hey, but look, Tabata, don't come having them goons knock at my door. Look, we could talk. I got some ideas to make Fugelion a little better. If you don't want to hear that, I got some ideas to take him out of the story. Look, we can work. We can work. Hit my line, man. You know where to find me.
Hit his line, man. All right, let's get to the final categories before we wrap this up. Who you thought won the movie? Best character?
I think it was I'm gonna say Conrad.
Oh, okay.
Even though he was the main focus, I feel like every time he was on the screen, like eventually it's a movie. You know that they're gonna beat the bad guy at the end of the movie. But like every time he was on the screen, it's just kind of like he had this type of presence that like I feel like most movie villains don't have. Like I didn't get this type of feeling like from the My Hero movie villains. I didn't get this type of like emotion from bro and Demon Slayer, even though that's canon.
Yeah.
Like aside from bro who show up at the end of the Demon Slayer movie, the main villain.
I only got this from Ghetto in the movie, and that's canon.
Yeah, exactly, and that's canon.
Yeah.
So it's like for him to make like a canon character in a non-canon movie have that feeling of a canon villain, I feel like he nailed that.
Bullet didn't feel that way in One Piece, like. Obviously Shanks' daughter didn't feel that way. I guess the closest person in the My Hero movie was 9, but they wasted him in that trash movie where Bakugo got the Don't even get me started on that. That's a conversation for another day. I hated that fucking movie. I hated it. God damn, I hated it. But
it was bad.
But I think the character that won for me, I don't want to give it to Asta. I'm not giving it to Yuno. I want to say Noelle, man. For Noelle to beat a Wizard King and essentially relate to him and get him to give his hand out and shake and really come together. That shows how strong of Noelle is and how Asta has rubbed off on her, and how people always talk about Asta and but Noelle's right there with him. To me, Noelle's this generation's Mary Leona, or she will be, with her Valkyrie, everything. I loved her armor. Like, big Noelle fan. So I'm giving the win to Noelle.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Who is the loser of the movie? Had the worst showing.
I
don't want to give it to Fugelion, but he up there.
I ain't gonna lie. Like,
but I have a different answer than Fugelion.
I ain't gonna lie. As much as I love Yami, I kind of got to give it to Yami.
Oh.
Even though he was boxing at the end, I feel like. And maybe that's because it's supposed to be the new generation, but I'm like, bro, you should not be getting tossed around like this.
Oh, damn!
Like,
see, that's real.
I feel like you should not be getting tossed around.
All right, I'm gonna tell you why he got tossed around, because they was zapping his magic.
Yeah, that's true.
They was zapping his magic. I'm saying the loser is either Von Johns, because he didn't do shit. He stopped and opened the fucking gate. Where else were you, Von Johns? You're the Golden Dawn's captain. What the fuck are you doing? You didn't even fight. You just opened the gate. Nigga, you trash. Also, the purple orca nigga with the mustache. Nigga, you definitely trash. Conrad looked at him and said, nigga, you still a captain? Bow! And slapped him out of there.
Bro, I don't think he's done anything even in the canon story, to be honest.
Nothing except being a coward and being a thief. That's all he was. That's a criminal.
Yeah, look, I ain't
Vengeance is ass.
Bro, you know carrying the Golden Dawn on his back.
Knows the captain already. Like, get Vengeance out of here.
Vengeance said it in the recent chapters too. Look, he said, look, man, I don't even want it no more. He said, look, you got it. You got it. You got it, big bro.
Yeah, Vengeance is the loot. Big L's, Von Johns. Trash ass nigga. All right. Best Wizard King in the whole movie out of all of them. Your favorite?
I got to say Jester, because he was just chaotic for the sake of being chaotic. All the other ones, even though they did have good like intentions, I felt like Jester was kind of just this dude where he's just like, I'm just glad they revived me. I'm here to wreak havoc.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And he was enjoyable every time he was on the screen. He was talking trash. He had the talk to back it up too.
He did. So he had that thing on him. He wasn't just making churches. No, that's a fact. I'm going with Priscilla, because not only was she able to bring an army with her and use her power the right way, she went toe-to-toe with Mary Leona. Anybody going toe-to-toe with Mary Leona is OP. I'm going with Priscilla. That badass. And she was a little hottie with a body, too. So
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. She showed up on the screen. I said,
yeah. All right. Give your rating out of 10, and that's it.
I gotta go solid 8.
Yep,
definitely solid 8. Like,
that's what I said on TikTok.
I would if you like Black Clover, like, I definitely recommend this movie. Like, if you're not like, I'm not gonna say love, like, if you like Black Clover, like, if you watch Black Clover, you feel me? And
if you read
you're not a manga, like, maybe if you're not even a manga reader, I feel like you would still enjoy this movie.
No, I'm with you.
Enjoy this movie a lot.
I'm giving it a solid 8. Like I said on TikTok, it is my second favorite movie of the new gens. Some days third. It's JJK Movie 0 by Miles. Then it's this and My Hero Movie 3. Those to me are the best new gen shonen movies. I like those movies more than One Piece Stampede and One Piece Film Red and Dragon Ball Z Super Broly, which is just a fight. Like, I'm sorry, if you just want a good fight, then go watch that. There's no story behind it, no lore.
I mean, I don't know. They kind of help Broly character a little bit. He's not just a whining. He's just not a whining man child no more.
I guess. Is he in the manga?
No,
we
you
using
asking
him?
the wrong person. I don't read
He's
that.
not.
I don't read that bullshit. I don't read. If I need a laugh, I'm gonna read it. But I don't read that bullshit.
I don't blame you. Tell the people where they can follow you on social media.
For more shenanigans, you can follow me on Instagram, Jazzy Boy. You can follow me on TikTok, Cornell D God, and you can follow me on Twitter, Real Jazzy Boy. You can also follow me on Spill for my black people, Jazz34, baby.
Yes, sir. You can follow me at lynbwt on Spill, TikTok, Twitter. Follow me at Lyndon James Burton II on Threads and Instagram. Follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. We have a One Piece video out. We're gonna have more content out this week from One Piece and Black Clover, so be sure to check that out. Maybe even some My Hero content. But until the next time, have a good one and peace.